on Tank Young, the junior running back. So Saints so far doing a good job staying ahead of pace. 7-yard gain makes it 2nd and 3 coming up. 10 minutes to go in the first quarter now. Once again, 2 receivers set. They shift a tight end over to the right side. They've ran to that side a couple times. They're going to go to that side again with Anderson. The quarterback keeper, he gets the first down and then some past the 30-yard line inside to the Mill Valley 28-yard line. So great job moving the chains continually for this St. Thomas Aquinas offense, who's averaging 65 points per game in their last 2 games, going back to week 2. So, of course, St. Thomas are still undefeated, number 1 ranked in both the 8-10 Honda Top 25 and the 5A state rankings in Kansas. Anderson under center. He shifts a man in motion in the backfield. They're going to toss it to him. He has the outside. This is Tom Downey. Gets dragged out of bounds, but not before he gets down to the Mill Valley 10. So a 1st and goal coming up for the Saints already with 9:24 to go in the first quarter. St. Thomas Aquinas within striking distance. So good decision there by Blake Anderson. Pitching it off to Downey. 1st and goal coming up. They shift those 2 receivers to the left side this time. Downey goes motioning in the backfield. They hand it off to Tank Young. And this time they finally stop him in the backfield. No flag this time. 1-yard loss will bring up 2nd and goal from the 11. So this defense for Mill Valley averaging 26 points per game. They forced 2 turnovers last week against Bishop Miege, and they could use one of those right here. Saints at the 11, 8:50 to go in the first quarter. They send the man in motion. Now they go back to the left. This is Anderson. He keeps it, stumbles his way forward past the 5. It's going to be a 3rd and goal coming up for Blake Anderson in this Aquinas offense. So St. Thomas Aquinas 5 for 8 last week on 3rd down. 5 yards to go here in the first quarter on 810varsity.com. 8:19 to go in the first quarter. Still no score if you're just joining us. Saints have driven the length of the field. They began on their own 20-yard line, and they're looking to punch it in right here. Anderson under center. And before we have that, there was some motion, but it's going to be a timeout by St. Thomas Aquinas. So that stops the clock with 8:04 to go in the first quarter. 0-0 Mill Valley and St. On 8-10 varsity, 3rd and goal from the 5 coming up for the Saints. Have a chance to strike first early on in this Friday afternoon matchup against 1-2 Mill Valley. 8:04 to go in the first quarter. All runs so far for St. Thomas. Probably won't put it in the air here. Mill Valley showing pressure. They hand it up the middle to Tank Young. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Aquinas. From 4 yards out, Tank Young picks off right where he was at last week against Blue Valley Northwest. He had 5 touchdowns last week, and he gets his first one of the afternoon right here. So a 4-yard touchdown by Young makes it 6-0 with 7:59 to go in the first quarter. Extra point attempt coming up here by Charlie Weinrich. and that one is good. So extra point attempt makes it 7-0. 80-yard drive. Great job by St. Thomas Aquinas converting on third down. So we're back after the quick commercial break. 7-0 Saints lead over the Jaguars. Mill Valley's going to be getting the ball for their first time of the afternoon with 7:59 to go in the first quarter. So Weinrich will be kicking off here for Aquinas. Actually, the sophomore kicker, he has not attempted a field goal all season so far. And I mean, you figure with the offense they have, they don't have to. Only done extra points and kickoffs. He's been pretty solid there so far. So high kick returnable from the 5. Gets past the 20. And Kendrick Jones gets to around the 21-yard line following a 16-yard return. So that brings on this Mill Valley offense led by Cooper Marsh. Last week against Bishop Miege went 14 for 29, 225 yards. He actually accounted for more than half of their total offense along with 111 rushing yards, but he did have 2 interceptions and in a one-score game against Miege. That was the difference maker. So 7:54 to go in the first quarter. First play coming up here for the Jaguars. 3 receivers set up to the left. Marsh is going to keep it. He has the first down. There he goes. Receiver gets the block to the outside, and Marsh goes all the way to the 49-yard line, maybe right at midfield. Big play is going to bring up a Mill Valley first down. So, like we just said, Marsh, kind of a option RPO offense. They run out of the gun. Like we said, ran for 111 rushing yards last week. Their leading rusher, along with 3 touchdowns on the ground. Part of that 23-point fourth quarter they had to almost pull off the comeback victory against Miege. So 1st and 10 from midfield. They have another first down and then some. Going right up the middle is Tyler Green, the senior running back. So 2 plays, 2 big runs for the Jaguars, and that's another first down for Mill Valley. So they started at their own 22. Already they're at the St. Thomas Aquinas 35-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up with 7:34 to go in the first quarter. So, Aquinas, they like to run the ball a lot. But, Marsh and Green, they do a great job. He passed 29 times last week. But you figure with the run game going like it is with Green, another first down for him, you might as well keep going to it. Another first down for the Jaguars, inching right near that Aquinas red zone. So 1st and 10 now, 7:16 to go in the first quarter. Mill Valley with a very impressive opening drive. Now they look to get the play in. 3 receivers lined up, kind of a slot/tight end to the right. Stack line to the left. Now a fumbled snap. Went through his hands, but it looks like Green might have recovered it. Mill Valley had some problems with that last week. Like we said, 4 turnovers, including a fumble from Green. Put him in an early hole, and now an injured St. Thomas Aquinas player on the field. So that stops the clock with 6:44. We'll be right back after a quick word from our
When it comes to SUVs, nothing beats Honda. U.S. News & World Report's best SUV brand 4 years in a row, including the 2019 Honda Pilot, one of the millions of Hondas built here in America since 1982. Or the 2019 CR-V, a crossover car and driver calls a better value than the RAV4. And right now, get Pilot with 1.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. For more offers, visit kchondadealers.com today.
So that was Peyton Reeves. We're back here on A10. He was the injured Aquinas player on the field. Hopefully he's all right. Limps off the field, and so now play will resume. If you're just tuning in, Mill Valley marching down the field, but almost turning it over with a fumbled snap out of the gun. Luckily they recover it, and that will bring up 2nd and 12. Second down from the 25, 6:44 to go in the first quarter. Marsh, he may be looking to throw for the first time today. Pressure coming to the left-hander. He had his check down option, and it goes through his hands. So Kendrick Jones, that one falls incomplete. First pass attempt for Mill Valley, and now that will bring up 3rd and 12. So now this drive may be stalling a little bit here for the Jaguars. 6:37 to go in the first quarter. 3 big runs to begin the drive. They fumble the snap, and an incomplete pass brings up 3rd down. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Marsh, no play action this time. Good pressure. He has a man over the middle. This one caught, still on his feet, making moves. It's going to be 1st and goal. Big completion from Marsh to Jacob Hartman, the junior receiver for the Jaguars. So now 1st and goal coming up. Big 3rd down conversion for the Jags, and that's going to be 1st and goal from around the 7-yard line now. 6:28 to go in the first quarter here on 810.com. If you're just tuning in, 7-0 game. Aquinas leads Mill Valley off an 80-yard drive, capped off with a 4-yard rushing touchdown by Tank Young. So now Jaguars slowing things down a little bit. They come out of the huddle, still in the gun, 3 receivers to the right. They're going to bring one of them to the right off a motion. This is Hartman. They toss it to the outside. Nice block by the receiver. Hurdle gets him to the 1. Almost scores, but it's going to be 2nd and goal coming up for the Jaguars. So another nice play there by Tyler Green. He had 93 yards and a touchdown last week against Bishop Miege. And they may give it right back to him here on the goal line. 1 yard to go, 5:33 to go in the first quarter. Mill Valley has a chance to tie this game up. So 2 receivers split to the left and right. Marsh, play action, touchdown, Jaguars. Saints bit off the play action. He had his man right over the middle. And so I believe that was number 3 for Mill Valley, Jacob Hartman. He had the big catch on 3rd down, and now he picks up a touchdown. So nice response, and what a nice drive there, commanded by Marsh. Threw a couple interceptions last week, a solid drive here, opening up the game, and just like that, coming up with a 10 and extra point. As this one is good, makes it 7-7 with 5:19 to go in the first quarter. So just like that, tie game, both teams scoring their first possession. We'll be right back here on 810 Varsity.
Today is a new day. A day we've been waiting for our whole lives. We've put in the work to get to this moment, to have this opportunity to come together as a team. Everyone knows KC is on the rise, but what they don't know is we're just getting started. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
So welcome back to 810varsity.com. 7-7 game. Jaguars with a big drive to tie the game. Started from their own 22-yard line. A couple big third down conversions. And now they'll be kicking off back to the Saints, who, like we said, went 80 yards on their first drive. They'll be looking to break the tie once again. So kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. Second touchback so far today. And so that will bring Blake Anderson and this powerful Saints offense back onto the field. 5:19 to go in the first quarter. Beginning right where they started last time on offense. No passes for the Saints on their opening drive, but Anderson did get a lot of action on the ground. Couple runs, picked up a few first downs. Complemented Tyron Young very well. So now only one receiver outside to the left. They stack the line. They send the man in motion. This is a toss to the outside. They brought the man back towards this side of the field, and now a nice stop by Mill Valley. Probably one of the few times they've stopped Aquinas from breaking out one of those big plays. Around a 3-4 yard gain will bring up second down. So Jack McGuire, the senior defensive back for Mill Valley, making the stop. Officially a 4-yard gain to the 24, makes it 2nd and 6. 4:45 to go in the first quarter. Now two receivers split out to the left. Mill Valley stacking that box. Once again, they send a man in motion. Anderson trapped in the backfield, and they bring him down, maybe after a 1-yard gain, if anything. And now once again, you have another flag after the play. This came after the play as players were trying to get off from the tackle. Mill Valley has the only flag so far today, a 15-yard face mask penalty. If this is a personal foul on Mill Valley, that'd be 2 personal fouls and give the Saints a break here, as they would be facing a third down coming up. And actually, this is going to be on the offense. So a personal foul does occur, but it was on St. Thomas Aquinas, and now that's going to be 15 yards the other way. And so just like that, they're facing a 3rd and long coming up with 4:31 to go in the first quarter. So the personal foul penalty moves them all the way back to the 13-yard line. And now this Mill Valley defense, who let the Saints go all over them on that first drive on the run game, they have a chance to get a big 3-and-out here early on from Mill Valley High School. So Jaguars trying to pick up a big home win, get back to 2-2 on this season. They keep it on the ground. No, now they're going to put it in the air, and this is Blake Anderson. He had a man past the first down chain, and this one falls incomplete. So now a few drops going both ways. That went right through the hands of Tommy Carroll. And so Mill Valley, they bring the special teams onto the field, a 3-and-out. And with 2 return men standing back right at midfield, they're going to have good field position coming up. And now they'll have a chance to break the tie and take a lead early on. So Weinrich punting from his own end zone. A short kick. This one might have touched a Mill Valley player. St. Thomas acting like it did. There was a guy getting blocked into it there. Refs all over it. We're assuming this might have been a live ball, and it looks like it's Mill Valley's ball. So Jaguars avoid disaster, and now they're going to have a great field position coming up. 1st and 10 with 4:11 to go in the fourth quarter here on 810varsity.com. 1-2 Mill Valley going up against 3-0 St. Thomas Aquinas. Mill Valley tried to upset the #1 team in Kansas Class 5A at home. So that will bring Cooper Marsh back onto the field. 1 drive, 1 touchdown for him. Capped it off with a touchdown pass to Jacob Hartman on the first drive. Marsh keeps it on the first down play. A little run pass option there. Once again, Marsh picks up a few yards. He was trying to get that defender to bite. Kind of had him in a little one-on-one situation where if he comes after Marsh, he can make the pass. If not, he decides to keep it. Then that's what he did, so that will make it around a 4-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 6 from the 34. 4:03 to go. Clock stop with him going out of bounds. 1 running back in the backfield. Also 2 receivers lined up to the right, along with a tight end. Marsh, he gives it off the middle this time. Another big play on the ground. This time it's Quinn Wittenauer for Mill Valley, and that will be a Jaguar first down. So the Saints came into this game known for having that dominant rushing attack, but right now Jaguars doing a great job of moving the chains with the run game. A little combination of Marsh along with Green and Wittenauer. 1st and 10 from the 24. Marsh is going to keep it in the air. They try going over the middle once again, and this one falls incomplete. He was looking for his big 6'3" target, Kendrick Jones, over the middle. They got that pass to work a few times on the first drive over the middle. This time incompletion makes it 2nd and 10. 3:35 to go in the first quarter. Still 7-7 game here on 810varsity.com. So these are two, technically second half teams. They score the majority of their points in the 3rd and 4th quarters. So Mill Valley already able to potentially come out to a little bit big here early on as a handoff up the middle, a little off tackle. And actually they're saying this was a fumble on the play. Aquinas indicating they have the ball, and they do. So huge turn of events. It looked like Quinn Wittenauer put it on the ground. They had a fumble last week and now a fumble on their second drive, and all of a sudden Saints are going to get the ball after a big stop inside their own territory. And so they will get the ball at their own 20-yard line now. 1st and 10 for them with 3:29 to go in the first quarter. So Mill Valley wasn't able to stop them a whole lot in that first drive. They went 80 yards for the score. That time assisted with a personal foul penalty on their second drive, able to get the 3 and out. So Anderson under center. 1 pass attempt, an incompletion on 3rd down last time. He gets it off just in time to Downey. He bounces it to the outside, and there he goes. Safety shoves him out. He gets to around the 35, and that will be good enough for a Saints first down. So 15-yard gain. Stops the clock with 3:21 after getting shoved out of bounds. And so now the Saints starting to look like how they did on that first drive, where they were able to move the ball down the field. Nice read there by Blake Anderson, getting off just in time. So 1 receiver out. First down, they send Downey in motion. Looks like Anderson might have kept it up the middle. 1-yard gain, if anything, will bring up 2nd down. So Mill Valley, they're able to get, some stops here early on. They had that one, a big loss in the backfield. Of course, it was reversed with a face mask penalty, but now for them it's about getting consistent stops like they did on that second drive, where they held St. Thomas Aquinas to a 3 and out. Now trying to do that here. 2nd and 9 after a 1-yard gain. 2:45 to go in the first. They send Downey in motion once again. Actually, correction, this is Barnett. He's going all the way back. He's still on his feet. Gets a couple blocks, and he's finally dragged down. Tried to turn nothing into something. That's been a big loss for the Saints. Back at around the 27-yard line. So once again, Mill Valley back-to-back drives. They have St. Thomas Aquinas and a 3rd and long situation. Aquinas last week, like we said, they went 5 for 8. They had a couple crucial 3rd down conversions on their first drive. Now they're trying to pick up a 1st down here. One receiver to the outside. They send Downey in motion. No play action this time. Anderson's going to go to the air. He has a man on a comeback route. This is caught, but it's going to be short of a 1st down right near the 40-yard line. So Isaiah Gavin getting the completion for St. Thomas Aquinas. About a 10-yard gain will make it 4th and 7 now with 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. And so now the Jaguars, I mean, this St. Thomas offense averaging 65 points per game like we said the last 2 weeks. And now 2 impressive stops for the Jaguars. Another high, short kick. Looked like it went off the side of his foot. Takes a slight favorable Aquinas bounce to the Mill Valley 46-yard line, and that's where the Jaguars will come back onto the field. 1:07 to go in the first quarter, and we'll keep it right here. So just like last drive, they have pretty decent field position to start out, but that drive ended with a crucial Quinn Wittenauer fumble at the Aquinas 20-yard line after going the length of the field and scoring on their first drive. That's what made it 7-7. It was capped off by a 3-yard touchdown pass from Marsh to Jacob Hartman. So 5 down linemen for Aquinas. They're going to hand it off to the outside. This is Green trying to get to the outside. Gets to the corner, and it looks like he might be just short of a 1st down. It's going to depend on the spot. And it looks like he's going to be just short. He needed 10. He got 9.5. He'll bring up a 2nd and very short one. Once again, now on the Aquinas side of the field, 59 seconds to go in the first quarter. Marsh, he keeps it off the play action, getting dragged down in the backfield, and they sack him for a loss. Big sack there by Sal Siavi, the freshman defensive end. This is a freshman starting for St. Thomas Aquinas, and he's having a big impact so far today. So after a 9-yard gain on 1st down, they go back up around a 6-7-yard sack. Makes it 3rd and 7. Now back on their own side of the field. 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Clock still rolling. 2 running backs lined up behind a side Marsh in the backfield. Marsh puts it in the air, tries to loft it inside there to Kendrick Jones, and now we have a flag on the play. Kendrick Jones got hit as he was falling to the ground, wasn't able to reach out and make the catch. The big 6'3" receiver. This may be a personal foul, possibly for a hit on a defenseless player. If that's the case, that should give Mill Valley a 1st down. So officials still talking it over. 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. And it looks like this is going to be a personal foul penalty on Aquinas. So now Aquinas, I think only 3 penalties in this game so far. All 3 of them have been personal fouls. 2 of them on Mill Valley, 1 of them right now on Aquinas. And that will give him a 1st down right at the Aquinas 37-yard line. So clock remains stopped at 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. This may be the last play before the end of the quarter. Receiver motions. Marsh, he has a man downfield. This is Kendrick Jones, nearly picked off by Isaiah Gavin. Nice coverage by Gavin. And now once again, Kendrick Jones shaken up on the play. He was hit the play prior, that gave him the personal foul for a first down. Now he's shaken up at the 10. So Marsh tried taking that shot over the middle like they've been trying to all afternoon so far. And we'll take a break right here on 810varsity.com. We'll be
When it comes to SUVs, nothing beats Honda. U.S. News & World Report's best SUV brand 4 years in a row, including the 2019 Honda Pilot, one of the millions of Hondas built here in America since 1982. Or the 2019 CR-V, a crossover car and driver calls a better value than the RAV4. And right now, get Pilot with 1.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. For more offers, visit kchondadealers.com today.
And we are back on 810 Varsity after the injury timeout. Hopefully Kendrick Jones is all right. That would be a big loss for Mill Valley, the big 6'3" sophomore wide receiver for the Jaguars. So the incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10. Ball still on the Aquinas 37-yard line. Now this should be the last play of the quarter. 2 running backs lined up behind Marsh in the backfield. They hand it off to Green. He stumbles his way forward, gets a few yards after contact past the 30, and they'll have a 3rd and short coming up after the intermission. So we end the first quarter as high-flying Aquinas offense, averaging 65 points per game in the last 2 weeks. They're tied with Mill Valley 7-7. We'll be right back here on 810varsity.com.
Gear up for Back to Sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
And we are back on 810varsity.com. Hello once again from Mill Valley High School. An afternoon Friday football game with the impending weather coming. 7-7 game as we begin the second quarter here between St. Thomas Aquinas and Mill Valley. Jaguars trying to knock off the #1 team in 5A in Kansas. They begin with a 3rd and 2 on the Aquinas 29-yard line. They keep it up the middle with Marsh off the little read option, and he's going to be stopped just short of a first down. Needed 2 and he got 1. He got stopped by Caden Reeves, the big junior defensive tackle. And now you got a decision here, 4th and 1. You're right at Chris Tennant's field goal range. His longest on the season's 45 yards, and it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. 4th and 1 from the 28, 30 seconds removed from the second quarter. They stay in the spread, nearly got a defensive lineman to jump. They may just try a hard count here. Play clock down to 6 seconds. They are going to snap a play, a hands off to Green, and it looks like he stood up. It's going to depend on the spot. You have Mill Valley players indicating they got the first down. Aquinas indicating they held him up on 4th down, and it looks like they did. So a little option play there to Tyler Green up the middle, and he was stood up right at the 29-yard line. And now this is 2 straight drives for Mill Valley where they're deep inside Aquinas territory and they come away with 0 points. So after an impressive first drive where they scored a touchdown, it's still 7-7 as now Aquinas gets the ball for their first possession of the second quarter. 11-11 to go in the first half. They begin on their own 29-yard line. 1 receiver split out towards this side of the field. Blake Anderson under center. Man motions in the backfield. That's Tank Young. Looked like that was handed off right up the middle to number 7, Cade Scherzer. Jack McGuire gets a stop for Mill Valley, but not before they gain 6 yards. 2nd and 4 coming up. The ball on the Aquinas 34-yard line. So close game here so far. Mill Valley stacking the box, and they stood him up behind the line of scrimmage. Big play there from Mill Valley. A swarm of Jaguars coming in to get the stop. It looked like one of those players might have been number 61, Ethan Kramer. And that will bring up another 3rd down. So Mill Valley's held Aquinas to 1 3-and-out so far. They also got a stop after a couple first downs the drive prior. Downey, it looked like he was going to motion over. They're going to keep him on that side. Now 9 seconds to go in the play clock. 9:57 to go in the first half. Now Anderson back under center. Defensive line motioning. They send Tank Young. They pitch it to him, and it looks like he's going to be stopped before he gets the first down. Got past the 35 to the 36. That's going to bring up a 4th and 2 coming up. And it looks like not a whole lot of action from that sideline. They may be going for here on 4th down. The punter for St. Thomas is Charlie Weinrich, and he is not on the field. They may just try a hard count possibly, but as of now, they're going to try to pick up this first down. 0 for 1 last week on 4th down. They send one man in motion. They give it to the Tank, and he gets stood up. No, he's still on his feet. He bounces off a tackler, and it's going to be awfully close. And it looks like with forward progress, he's going to get the first down. So he got tackled behind the line of game where he had to get to, but forward progress gets him right near the 39-yard line, and that's going to keep this drive alive. So a big 4th down conversion. Clock still rolling, 8:56 to go in the 2nd quarter. Saints still on the field on their own 39, 1st and 10 coming up. One receiver toward this side of the field once again. They send the man in motion. Now Anderson going to go to pass, and this one goes right past the hands of Isaiah Gavin, just a little too far for the 6'5 receiver. A little hard to overthrow him with his frame. They'll bring up 2nd and 10. So Isaiah Gavin, he's been having a good game both on offense and defense. He had the big stop there toward the end zone. Broke up a pass that was going towards Kendrick Jones a couple of possessions prior. Could have had a touchdown there. Had his man beat, instead it's 2nd and 10 still from the 39. 8:40 to go in the first half. 2 receivers now split out to the right. They're going to keep it on the ground, and this time they stop him at the line of scrimmage. Nice stop there by that Jaguar defensive line. Once again, multiple Jaguars in there along with Cole Knappen, the junior defensive lineman. Also, Kendall Christopher getting the stop for Mill Valley. So short gain, if anything, brings up 3rd and 9 from their own 41-yard line. Mill Valley, they stopped them on 3rd down last time, but weren't able to get another stop on 4th down. Gavin split out wide, other side of the field at the 40. Anderson under center, Tank Young, 3-point stance in the backfield. They're going to toss it to him. This play nearly stopped in the backfield. Young still on his feet, finally gets brought down around the 43-yard line, and that's going to bring up another 4th down. And so now a little too far away for Coach Randy Drelling's liking, and it looks like Aquinas is going to punt. So a promising drive is going to end as of now with a punt coming from their own 43-yard line. Clock still rolling with 7:22 to go in the first half. 2 men back deep for Mill Valley, playing a little safe here. Weinrich, another short punt. This one bounces out at around the 29-yard line, maybe 30. And that's where this Mill Valley offense will come back onto the field. So their first drive started on their own 22-yard line, touchdown. After that, 2 possessions and deep inside Aquinas territory with no points to show for it. Both teams still trying to break this tie. Mill Valley trying to pick up their first win against Aquinas since the 2016 state semifinal game when they went on to win the state championship. First down from their own 30, 7:09 to go in the first quarter. They handed up the middle to Green, and now it's the Aquinas defensive line getting a stop. 1 yard, if anything, is going to bring up second and long for the Jaguars with 6:55 to go in the first half. If you're just tuning in, good games so far on a Friday afternoon. They had to move it up due to the impending weather. Aquinas struck first on an 80-yard drive that ended up in a Tank Young touchdown. Mill Valley quickly responded, but now they're trying to get a drive going, possibly take this lead. From their 32-yard line, 2nd and 8, play clock at 13. Cooper Marsh drops back to pass, pressure coming, he takes off with it. He has the first down and then some, drives through 2 Aquinas players. And actually, for a second there, Aquinas was indicating as that they might have come away with the ball. Officials disagree. Jaguars are going to keep the ball 1st and 10 on their own 49. So Marsh, very dangerous both in the air and on the ground. Like we said last week, he accounted for nearly half of all their yards. 225 yards in the air, 111 on the ground. Had 3 touchdowns on the game. Marsh, he keeps it this time, play action, shakes off one defender but can't avoid the second one. Another sack for this Aquinas defensive line. Nice stop there by Sal Siavi. His 2nd sack of the afternoon. Loss of 4 on the play, pushes him back to the 44, make it 2nd and 14. 5:43 to go in the first half here on A10varsity.com. 3-0 Aquinas against 1-2 Mill Valley. Couple of receivers stacked up inside this side. Marsh looking that way, and now he has a man downfield. This is number 19. Did he come down with it? Yes, he did. Big completion to Tyresius, the junior receiver for Valley. Their biggest completion of the afternoon, and now pick up the first down. So moves it to the Aquinas 25-yard line. 3rd straight drive, they've been inside Aquinas territory. Marsh, good protection this time. Now he almost looked like he ran right into a sack, tried to take off with it, and this time they keep him in the backfield. Jalen Marshall, the sophomore defensive lineman, getting the stop for Aquinas. This is a very young St. Thomas Aquinas defensive line. You have 1 freshman, 1 sophomore, and they've been doing a heck of a job so far this afternoon. Now 4:54 to go in the first half. 2nd and long once again. Last time they're in this situation, a big completion got him to this side of the field. Marsh, quick pass outside to a receiver. This one stumbles forward, gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then some. That was Zach Mills, 6'3" receiver. They have some big receivers here for the Jaguars. They could possibly be an option as they get closer to that end zone. 3rd and 9. They get right back near that original line of scrimmage now. 4:23 to go in the first half. Jaguars looking for another big 3rd down conversion. 3 for 13 last week on 3rd down. Now Marsh, good protection. He has a man downfield. This one over the head of the receiver. That was Jacob Hartman. Nearly had a touchdown. Instead, it's going to be 4th and 9 still from the 25. And now it's situation time here for this Jaguar offense. It looks like they're going to call a timeout. So they're going to think things over here with 4:10 to go in the second quarter. And we will be right back here on 810varsity.com.
When it comes to SUVs, nothing beats Honda. U.S. News and World Report's best SUV brand 4 years in a row, including the 2019 Honda Pilot, one of the millions of Hondas built here in America since 1982. Or the 2019 CR-V, a crossover car and driver calls a better value than the RAV4. And right now, get Pilot with 1.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. For more offers, visit kchondadealers.com today.
So we're back after the quick commercial break. Mill Valley talking things over. Once again, they're right inside field goal range for Chris Tennant, and it looks like they're going to keep him off the field for now. Big 4th and 9 coming up. They were good in this category last week, went 4 for 5 on 4th down against Bishop Miege. A conversion here will put them in a good opportunity to score a touchdown. Marsh takes off with it, no one there, working the sideline, gets to the 10, and it's going to be a Mill Valley first down. So once again, Cooper Marsh showing off that dual threat, able to make some plays both in the air and on the ground. It looks like it's not going to be 1st and goal, it's going to be 1st and 10 right at the 11. So clock stops with 4:02 to go in the first half. This is the closest the Jaguars have been to the end zone since they scored that first drive touchdown. 2 receivers to the right. Aquinas loading the box. This one blown up in the backfield. Marsh handed it off to Green, and Aquinas saw it the whole time. Loss of 5 is going to bring up 2nd and 15. Brought down there by number 44, Cameron Penny, the junior defensive end for St. Thomas Aquinas. 2nd and long coming up with 3:40 to go in the second quarter. So obviously Mill Valley taking their time here, counting the clock in their favor. They can milk this down a little bit, so if they score, Aquinas gets the ball back with not a whole lot of time in the first half. Green back there with Marsh. He's looking, he fires it into the end zone, and this one nearly picked off. He was looking for Jacob Hartman once again. That route nearly jumped and picked off. It looked like that was number 2, Terrence Collins, the second. And once again, almost a 3rd straight turnover deep inside Aquinas territory, but this drive's going to stay alive. 3rd and 15 from the 16 with 3:16 to go in the second quarter. So 3rd and long, clock stop, 2 receivers to the left. And 2 receivers this side got a little bit of a head start. That's a false start on Mill Valley. Huge penalty because this is going to push them back 5 more yards. Make it a very difficult 3rd and 20. And I mean, unless you get it to the 1, you're not picking up a first down here. So possibly, if you want to score a touchdown, something short here and then go for the end zone on 4th down. If not, you take a shot here and could settle for a field goal. Clock still at 3:16 to go in the second quarter. Marsh, pressure coming. Nice blocking there. He's going to put it into the end zone, and now this one is picked off by Aquinas. Nearly picked off the play before. This time Aquinas, a 3rd straight turnover that this defensive forces. They had 5 last week against Blue Valley Northwest, and a huge interception will bring Blake Anderson and the Aquinas offense back onto the field at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up with 3:09 to go in the first half. So now Aquinas is the one in a good situation. They have 3:09 to go. They have 2 timeouts. And now they will try to advance the ball further than they had the last 3 drives. Went 3 and out once. Haven't really been able to get past midfield ever since then. So Bevins stacked up to the right. Anderson either goes right up the middle or possibly a fumble on the exchange. It looked like that was a keeper for Blake Anderson. 21 with 2:45 to go in the first half. Aquinas, they don't get the ball to begin the second half. They got it first in the first quarter, so this may be their last chance to get some points here in a little bit. They pass it out to Tank Young on a little hitch route, and that goes nowhere. Nice coverage there by, it looks like that was number 18 for Mill Valley, Pete Jansen. He had an interception last week against Bishop Miege. Big stop there. It's going to bring up another third down. 3rd and 6 from the 24. Clock still rolling with 2:05 to go in the first half. You're on a10varsity.com. So now if you're Mill Valley, you got to stop here. You could possibly stop that clock and have one more shot to score before halftime. They motion Gavin over to the right. Now Downey motioning over. They hand it off the counter. No one on that side. Aquinas going down the field. It's a foot race, and he's still on his feet, and he will score. Charlie McCormick from his own 24-yard line. Huge run for a touchdown. 76-yard play on a 3rd down. And now Aquinas jumps out back on top with 1:38 to go in the quarter. Huge turn of events. Mill Valley was trying to force another 4th straight Mill Valley 4th down. And now with an extra point, it's going to be 14-7. Have to bring an extra blocker back on the field. Weinrich, he made the first one, and he makes the second one. So 1:38 to go in the first half. Saints jump out to a 14-7 lead over Mill Valley. And we will be right back here on 810varsity.com. 14-7, Saints lead.
Gear up for back to sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
So we're back here on a10varsity.com. 14-7, St. Thomas Aquinas leads after a 76-yard touchdown run from Charlie McCormick. Only had a couple carries last week, and that was a play we had not seen him run the entire game. Had all the blockers go to the right side, a little misdirection. McCormick goes the other way, and after that it was a foot race. Able to go all the way for a score. And now with a stop here, they have a chance to take a lead going into halftime. So Weinrich just about to kick that off. Ball falls off the tee. And we'll try it again. One man back deep for Mill Valley. I believe that's, I can't see a number. It looks like that might be Ty Reiches for Mill Valley. Ball falls off again. In the NFL, I believe if it falls off 2 straight times, you have to hold it, and it looks like that's a rule in high school too. So Mason Ross will have to tee the ball off. Mill Valley student section not liking it. Letting them hear it. So this one once again sails into the end zone for a touchback. And that will bring Cooper Marsh and this Jaguar offense back onto the field. Last week in a 1-score game against Bishop Miege. Couple turnovers killed him in that game, and right now 3 straight turnovers deep inside St. Thomas Aquinas territory. They'll have 1:38 to work with along with 2 timeouts. Trying to go 80 yards, go the length of the field before halftime. They do get the ball to begin the second half as well. So if they work things out here, they could potentially do a little 2-for-1. So first down, 3 receivers to the right. Marsh gives it off to Green, bounces out to the outside, stumbles his way forward near the 25. Nice gain of 5 or maybe 4, bring up second down. 2nd and 6 now, clock still rolling with 1:19 and counting in this first half. Mill Valley quickly breaking the huddle. Still 3 receivers lined up to this side of the field. Aquinas playing back a little bit. Marsh now pressured. He ran out of bounds right at that 30-yard line. No signal just yet, and they're going to say now he was just short. Third and very short, 3rd and 1 coming up. Clock stops with 1:02 to go in the first half. They've been pretty good on 3rd down and 4th down so far this afternoon. They'll try to keep that going right here. 2 receivers once again this side of the field. Slot corner playing back a little bit. Marsh hands it off to Green. He bounces to the outside. He picks up the first down and then some, dragging defenders with him right near that 35-yard line. And now we're going to have a timeout called by Mill Valley. So they use one of those 2 timeouts they have. That stops the clock with 56 seconds remaining in the first half. So we'll be right back after a quick timeout here on A10varsity.com.
Today is a new day. A day we've been waiting for our whole lives. We've put in the work to get to this moment, to have this opportunity to come together as a team. Everyone knows KC is on the rise, but what they don't know is we're just getting started. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
So we're back after the quick timeout break here on 810varsity.com. 56 seconds remaining in the first half. Jaguars at their own 35-yard line with a 1st and 10 coming up. 3 receivers to this side of the field trying to tie the game up before halftime. Marsh fakes. Pump fakes. Had a man downfield. That one nearly falls incomplete. He was looking for Mills once again, his big 6'3" target. Little pump fake got the defender to bite. Had a couple steps on him. But instead it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 35. So clock stops with 51 seconds remaining. That very young defensive line. So 5-6 down linemen for Aquinas. They run right into Green. Brings up a 3rd and 10. And now someone calls a timeout. I believe that's Aquinas, and they do. So now they have 1 timeout to go. Smart decision if you're them. You stop the clock with 43 seconds. Maybe have a chance to get the ball back before halftime. So we will still stay right here. 43 seconds to go in the first half. We'll try to get you some updates brought to you by the 810 Varsity Scoreboard. A lot of games played last night. A big one with St. James Academy upsetting Bishop Miege 28-27. Couple scores so far. Shawnee Mission East currently leading Shawnee Mission Northwest 20-19. Blue Valley and Rockhurst, that game tied at 7. That's a big Missouri-Kansas showdown. Then also you have Blue Valley Southwest. They currently lead Blue Valley Northwest 21-0. St. Thomas Aquinas, they beat Blue Valley Northwest last week 68-19. They're struggling so far this season. So after the timeout break brings up 3rd and 10 from their own 35-yard line. 43 seconds to go in the first half. Mill Valley trying to keep this drive alive, potentially get some points before halftime. Aquinas drops the corners back. Marsh steps up in the pocket, has a man downfield. This one intercepted once again. They jump the route. They're at the 30. He has a blocker. He may go the whole way. This is number 12, Brooks, for St. Thomas Aquinas. He's still on his feet, finally brought down at the 21. And now Aquinas, that's worst case scenario for Mill Valley because now the Saints have great field position. Only around 22 yards to go with 26 seconds to go in the first half. And so you go from talking about possibly tying this game, making it maybe a 4-point game before halftime. Now, potentially, Aquinas can make this a 2-score game. That'd be big for them because Mill Valley gets the ball to begin the second half. So officially, they begin from their 23-yard line. 1st and 10 Big receiver Isaiah Gavin lined up, the 6'5 receiver lined up to the right. Anderson drops back to pass. Now he's going to step up. He has a man in the end zone, and this one caught for a touchdown. Tom Downey, 23-yard touchdown pass. It looks like officially it may be a touchdown. Some of the coaches on field arguing that it may have been bobbled or fell out, but they're going to give them the score. So they're saying that was a 23-yard touchdown pass from Blake Anderson. Very efficient quarterback, one of the few times he's had to pass today. Now bring on the extra point attempt, and it is good. So just like that, Aquinas with a big 14-point swing. They get the stop on defense, and now they make it a 21-7 game. So we'll be right back here on 810varsity.com. 21-7, Saints lead.
Gear up for back to sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
So we're back here on 810varsity.com. Once again, another turnover for this Mill Valley offense. They were able to hold St. Thomas Aquinas to 7 points for the majority of the first half, but now two quick scores by Aquinas makes it a 21-7 game. Kickoff once again goes into the end zone for a touchback. That will bring on Cooper Marsh and the Jaguar offense once again. Now 19 seconds to go, only have one timeout. We'll see if they try to go the length of the field quick or maybe just take it in and go into halftime. So this Aquinas defense coming alive. I believe they are either right at 5 turnovers, which is the exact amount that they forced last week in a whole game. So great start for this Aquinas defense after struggling early on that first possession touchdown. Marsh will take the knee, and that will send it into halftime. So through 2 quarters of play, after 7-7, it was a tie game for the majority of the first half. Saints strike with 2 quick touchdowns, and they go into halftime with a 21-7 lead. So we will be right back for the second half here on 810varsity.com. And we are back here from Mill Valley High School, set to begin the second half of play. 21-7, St. Thomas Aquinas leads Mill Valley. We'll give you some halftime stats so far for St. Thomas Aquinas. It's Blake Anderson leading the way in the air, 3 for 5, 38 yards and 1 touchdown. And then Charlie McCormick, I mean, usually it's Tank Young leading the way, but a big 76-yard touchdown run. He has 4 extra yards on the day to make it 82 total yards and 1 touchdown. Also, Tom Downey, he has 1 touchdown reception of 24 yards. That's how they got 21 points. For Mill Valley, it's Cooper Marsh, 2 for 6, 19 yards, 1 touchdown, and a couple interceptions. And then also you have Green, 7 carries for 44 yards, and along with Jacob Hartman, 1 reception, 18 yards, and a touchdown. So we'll give you some score updates here, brought to you by the 810 Varsity Scoreboard. A lot of games going on throughout the Kansas area so far today. A couple big ones last night as St. James Academy took down Bishop Miege on the road 28-27. Still 7-7 game. Rockhurst and Blue Valley, they're tied 7-all. Blue Valley Southwest still leads Blue Valley Northwest 21-0. Baser Linwood, they currently lead Shawnee Heights 21-19. DeSoto leads Lansing 28-7, and Columbine leads Olathe North 17-13. So Mill Valley back on the field, ready to begin the second half of play. They'll be getting the ball to begin the second half, and they'll be looking to put a drive together that does not end in a turnover. They had multiple great opportunities in the first half, including multiple inside the Aquinas red zone. All those ended up either in interceptions or fumbles. So this Aquinas defense standing strong, and they'll look to get another stop here early on in the second half. So, I mean, not only with this defense, this secondary making stops, but also a very young defensive line. Siavi has a couple, I believe 2 sacks, the freshman defensive end for St. Thomas Aquinas, and then along with a couple other, multiple sophomores on that line for Aquinas. Got multiple tackles for losses and sacks. That's kind of why it was low scoring 7-7 throughout the majority of the first half. So Charlie Weinrich will kick it off to begin the half. This one of the first kicks that's actually going to be returnable. Has a block, tries to get to the outside, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds at the 30. That's number 16, Trey Wooster for Mill Valley. Gets shoved out near that sideline, and that's where Cooper Marsh will come back onto the field. So 8 seconds removed from the third quarter, 21-7. Aquinas, they come into this game undefeated. They've gone 5-1 since 2016 against Mill Valley. Like we said earlier, the last time Mill Valley took down the Saints was 2016 in the state semifinals. So first drive of the second half, Marsh in the backfield, fakes the handoff to Green, runs it up the middle. Nice push there by that Jaguar offensive line, gets him a couple yards on the play. 2 will make it 2nd and 8 from the 32. So Marsh and Green, they've been able to do a pretty good job on the ground. Marsh has done a great job keeping some plays alive throughout the first half, picking up a couple third downs with his feet. Also, Green had multiple big carries as well. They stay at trips formation to the left side. They hand off to Green up the middle. Once again, that offensive line plowing their way forward. Gets near the 38-yard line, and it's going to be a manageable third down coming up for Mill Valley. So big 32 coming up already. Jaguars trying not to go 3 and out, possibly cut into this 2-score lead that Aquinas has with 10:54 to go in the third quarter. So Jaguars break the huddle, 15 seconds left on the play clock. Still 3 receivers at that side of the field. Marsh, little option play here. He's going to keep it, and he's going to pick up a first down. So Cooper Marsh, 2 carries on this drive so far. 3 yards on that play will be good enough for a Jaguar first down. So they move it out to their own 42-yard line. They keep their first possession of the second half rolling now with 10:34 to go in the third quarter. So Jaguars, Marsh in the backfield. Once again, that little option play. Marsh keeps it up the middle. They thought Green had it. He's going to get right near midfield. So back-to-back nice runs by Marsh, fooling his Saints defense a little bit. 8 yards on the play will bring up 2nd and 2. And so Marsh consistently has been able to get some big plays on the ground aside from a few sacks and tackles for loss in the first half. That's also where he was most effective last week. 111 yards on the ground along with 3 touchdowns. That kept him in that game against Bishop Miege. Marsh, now he hands it off to Green. Almost ran right into a defensive lineman, and there he goes. Green makes a man miss, almost gets the ball ripped out, and he stumbles his way to the 32-yard line of Aquinas. So now, deep inside St. Thomas Aquinas territory, they're going to try to get some points on the board, something they have not been able to do since their first possession of the game. So 9:29 to go in the third quarter. Impressive drive so far for St. Thomas Aquinas. Everything on the ground so far. They keep to that trips formation to the left side. Marsh, he's going to hand it off to Green again. Has a couple blocks. Nice block by the receiver. He spins his way forward for a first down. Back-to-back first downs for this St. Thomas defense, and Green picks up another big gain. And it looks like we almost had an official timeout for an injury. They're going to keep the play rolling. He's going to stay on the field. And we will resume play. 20 yards to go. 9:06 to go in the third quarter. Jaguars within striking distance try to make this a one-score game. Now 3 receivers lined up to the right, including Hartman. He hands it off to Green. That running game's been going good so far this entire drive. He gets 5 yards out to the 15. Maybe a little shorter. Bring up 2nd down. Green's been a workhorse so far on this drive. Him and Marsh have been sharing the load. Still no passes so far on this second half drive. Now they bring the trips still back on this side of the field. No safety over top for Aquinas. Marsh handed it off to Green, and they get stood up behind the line of scrimmage. Once again, that's a big stop by Aquinas' defensive line, led by number 37, Bobby Pierce, a senior linebacker. That puts him behind the chains. It's going to be 3rd and 13 after the tackle for loss. And it looked like there Bobby Pierce did a great job attacking that mesh point. Either way, it looked like they're probably going to lose some yards. They stay in the trips formation. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Marsh in the backfield. Little wheel route to the left side. Instead, they're going to throw over the middle. Does he come down with it? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Mill Valley. 24-yard touchdown pass. Richard Johns for Mill Valley. The 5'9" receiver going up big to make the reception. Mill Valley in the swinging gate for a second. They're going to line back up for the extra point. Just like that, a big response to begin the second half. Tennant comes on for the kick, and it is good. So 7:33 to go in the third quarter. Mill Valley slowly chipping into that Aquinas lead. 21-14 on 810varsity.com. And so we're back after short sponsor break. 21-14, Mill Valley with a big response. They get their first score since the opening drive Big 24-yard touchdown pass from Cooper Marsh. Now 2 touchdowns on the afternoon for him. And now this Mill Valley defense, who made multiple big stops in the second quarter, including a big 3-and-out. They're going to look to get one of those right here, try to bring that offense back on the field, possibly try to tie this game up. Chris Tennant hasn't really given the Saints much of a chance to return anything so far today, mostly touchbacks. They began almost every drive from their own 20-yard line after a score. So Tennant now, this one a little shorter, almost a line drive. Tank Young's going to have a chance to return it from his 10-yard line. He goes opposite side to the right. People are trying to drag him down. He's still on his feet. Finally stopped past the 20-yard line out to the 23, and that's where Blake Anderson and this St. Thomas Aquinas offense comes back on the field. So big first half for them. Anderson, he doesn't pass a whole lot, but when he did, he had a touchdown, a couple big-time receptions, and then it was Charlie McCormick breaking the tie late in the second quarter, 76-yard touchdown run. And that's how they scored 21 points heading into halftime. So they get the ball officially on their own 22-yard line, 1st and 10, 7:22 to go in the third quarter here on 8-10 varsity. Mill Valley against St. Thomas Aquinas. Mill Valley trying to pull off the big upset at home this Friday afternoon game. First play up the middle, stopped after about a yard or two. That was Tank Young once again going up the middle. A relatively quiet first half for him. I mean, considering the pace that he's been at throughout last season and this season. 3-yard gain to the 22 makes it 2nd and 7. Second down, 6:54 to go in the third quarter. One receiver lined out wide. That's big Isaiah Gavin, 6'5" receiver. They've gone to him a couple times so far this afternoon. They go back to Young, opposite side this time off the pitch. He gets pushed out near the 35, and it looks like he's going to have enough for an Aquinas first down. So they go right back to Young, and now he's starting to wake up in this third quarter. Big play by him, moves the chains. 1st and 10 coming up with 6:41 to go in the third quarter. Ball on their own 34-yard line. So this is kind of looking how their first drive of the afternoon was. A big 80-yard touchdown drive capped off with Tank Young. They've been able to move the ball pretty good so far on this drive, 5-6 yards per carry besides that first big stop that Mill Valley had. They send Downey in motion to the right side. Now they go that way, and before we have that, we're going to have a flag possibly for illegal motion or false start. So it looks like it is false start on Aquinas. 5 yards back, that's huge because just about every time that they've been behind the chains, first along, second along, that's where Mill Valley's been able to get some big stops. They can use one of them right here, trying to get their offense back on the field. Like we said, 21-14 game. Flag pushes them back to the 29-yard line. So we resume play, 22 seconds on the play clock. They have now 2 receivers out wide near this side of the field. Mill Valley loading the box. Blake Anderson now, he's going to drop back to pass. He's looking toward the right side of the field. This one complete for a first down out to Tommy Carroll. 5'11" senior running back. He picks up the big first down into Mill Valley territory. Finally stopped there by Cole Clowder. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the Mill Valley 47-yard line with 6:29 and counting in this third quarter here on 8-10 varsity. Once again, Jaguars stacking the box. They send the man in motion. Instead, they're going to hand it off up the middle to Tank Young. Gavin, a little shoving after the play. Refs let it go. Bring up second down. So Jaguars have been able to get a few stops throughout the afternoon on first down and second down, but they have not been able to do it consistently. That's where some of those big plays broke out for Aquinas, including that big first half touchdown by Charlie McCormick. 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard gain, 5:49 to go in the third quarter. They give it to Tank Young. No, they toss it out to the outside. This is Downey for Aquinas. As of now, this is the first down, but this one may be coming back for a holding penalty. So it looked like one of those either linemen or receivers tried to get outside of the defender And so it looks like this will be coming back. Holding called on Aquinas. And once again, Mill Valley's going to have a chance to get a stop with Aquinas pushing themselves back deep behind the chains with a penalty. 5:42 to go in the third quarter. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. This is going to push him back right near the 48-yard line. So officially a 2nd and 11. Right near midfield once again. They have Tank Young. He's usually lined up in the backfield. They have him split out as a receiver this time. They give him a little bit of space. He's guarded there by Blake Boatwright. Anderson going to the air once again. Good protection. He's going to throw it down across the middle, and they're going to say this is incomplete. This was going for Will Thomas. That one hits the ground, falls incomplete, and now you have a 3rd and 11 coming up. 3rd down, Mill Valley has a chance to get a stop and hold Aquinas from getting any points on this third quarter possession. 5:36 to go in the third. Aquinas holding on to a 1-score lead. Very different from their first 3 games. They've blown their opponents out the first 3 games, especially last week. They beat Blue Valley Northwest 68-19. There's a reason why they're the #1 ranked team both in the state of Kansas and in the latest Kansas City Honda Top 25. So all the receivers stacked up near the line of scrimmage. Downey, they set him in motion, little screen pass dumped out to Tank Young, and the Jaguars read it the whole time. Big stop there by number 10, Colton Jegan for Mill Valley. They saw those linemen were going out. I mean, you figure if you get that much pressure that quick, it's probably a screen. Excellent recognition there by this Jaguar defense. And that's going to bring the punt team back on the field for St. Thomas Aquinas. 4th and 13. Ball right at midfield. 5 minutes to go in the third. So a high punt, good hang time. This is going to be returnable for Mill Valley. This is number 3, Jacob Hartman. He gets down to the 35. He's stopped at the 36. So Mill Valley will come back on the field for offense. 4:46 to go in the third quarter. And they did something. Excellent drive on their first possession in the second half, especially with the first half. A lot of crucial, costly turnovers deep inside Aquinas territory. Able to put an excellent drive together, capped off with a 24-yard Cooper Marsh touchdown pass. That made it a 1-score game once again. Now they have a chance to tie it. 1st and 10 officially from the 37. 4 receivers split out wide for Mill Valley along with Green in the backfield. Green, they gave it to him numerous times on that last possession. Able to get 4 or 5 yards per carry. They give it to him right here. He's past midfield into Aquinas territory. Another big play by going to pick up a Jaguar first down. And it looks like he's a little slow to get up. Maybe a little shaken up on the play. Tyler Green, he's had an excellent day so far for him. And he lays down on the 40. He stops the clock with 4:39 to go in the third quarter. With all the heat, it's been a hot one here from Shawnee, Kansas. So Green being helped off the field. Hopefully he's able to return soon. So a few more score updates brought to you by the 8 ahead of the Pirates. We'll continue to keep you updated here on the 810 Varsity scoreboard right here on 810 Varsity. So after the injury timeout, it'll be 1st and 10 inside Aquinas territory. Ball on the 43-yard line with 4:39 and counting to go in the quarter. Marsh lined up in the pistol. He has running back behind him. He's going to keep it this time. Fake the handoff to Wittenauer. Nice job stopping it there by that Aquinas defensive line led by Michael McNamara. It'll be 2nd and 10 officially, no gain on the play. So this Aquinas defense, like we said, they've been able to hold up the majority of the game. when they're backed up deep inside their own territory. Looking to get another turnover right here. Keep it a one-score game between 1-2 Mill Valley and 3-0 Aquinas. If you're just joining, 14-21 Saints lead. Fake the handoff. Marsh in the pistol. He's going to take off with it. No one near that left side of the field, and he's still on his feet. He has a block. He stumbles near the 10-yard line. Once again, another big play on the feet of Cooper Marsh, and they're going to have a first and goal coming up. So Cooper Marsh, little 1-2 combo he's had so far today. Makes big plays on his feet, and then he gets into the red zone. He has 2 touchdown passes so far from this side of the field. So officially, first and goal at the 10. 3:41 to go in the third quarter. They're going to stay in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers left side, including a big 6'3" target. Play clock at 5 seconds. May not be able to get this play off. And they get it off just in time. But before we have that, they're going to call a timeout. So officially timeout called by Mill Valley. Trying to get a new play lined up. Had to rush a little bit instead. Clock is going to continue to be stopped with 3:39 to go in the third quarter. So we will be right back here on 810 Varsity. 21-14, St. Thomas Aquinas leads.
When it comes to SUVs, nothing beats Honda. U.S. News & World Report's best SUV brand 4 years in a row, including the 2019 Honda Pilot, one of the millions of Hondas built here in America since 1982. Or the 2019 CR-V, a crossover car and driver calls a better value than the RAV4. And right now, get Pilot with 1.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. For more offers, visit kchondadealers.com today.
So we're back here in 810 Varsity after a quick timeout. 3:39 to go. Once again, Mill Valley deep inside Aquinas territory. First and goal coming up, 10 yards to go. Jaguars have a chance to tie this game up with a touchdown and an extra point. 1 receiver lined up to both sides of the field. Near this side of the field is Jacob Hartman. He already has a touchdown today. They're going to hand it off to Green. He's back in. The cramp ain't stopping him. He gets right near the 6. They'll bring up second and goal. So they spread that defense out, go right up the middle with Green. 4-yard gain brings up second and goal. Zach Mills, that big 6'3" target for Mill Valley, possibly a fade potentially in this situation. He's lined up on that opposite side of the field. 15 seconds to go in the play clock. They had to burn a timeout a couple plays prior. Wasn't able to get the play in. Marsh in the backfield, end zone, touchdown, Mill Valley. Marsh finds Ty Rushes right over the middle of the slant route. He's open in the end zone, and with an extra point, they're going to tie this game up midway through the third. And so you had Green going out on a little swing route, possibly that maybe drew a defender out there because Reiches was wide open over the middle. Third touchdown of the afternoon for Cooper Marsh. They're going to move the swinging gate back into extra point formation. 2:52 to go in the third. Extra point attempt. Looked like almost like an early snap. They weren't ready for it, but it is good. So 21-21. Mill Valley, they were down 14 points after originally being tied up 7-7, and now with 2 unanswered touchdowns to begin the third quarter. They tie this game up 21-21. So tie game. We will be right back after a quick break here on the 810varsity.com.
Gear up for back to sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
So we're back after the break. If you're just tuning in, good back and forth game here from Shawnee, Kansas. Number 1 ranked undefeated St. Thomas Aquinas tied up with the 6th ranked team in Class 5 for Kansas. Mill Valley 21 all. Little pooch kick near the 25. Chance to return, he's still on his feet. Maybe got to the 30, and that's where Blake Anderson and this Saints offense is going to come onto the field. They haven't been able to get a whole lot going so far this first half. Had to punt their last time out. It'll be interesting to see if maybe on this drive they try to go back to the deep ball. They've had a couple chances so far throughout this game, especially with Isaiah Gavin, where they maybe just overthrown or if that ball is just a couple yards ahead of them. That's what you can do when you lull a defense asleep with the run. They've been very effective so far in that department so far today. So they begin with 2 receivers lined up to this side. Last time they had 2 receivers out, they passed. Down he goes out to the right. They're going to hand it off up the middle. No, actually it's a keeper with Anderson, and he goes nowhere. Anderson stopped after maybe a 1-2 yard gain, if anything, and that'll bring up 2nd down with 2:32 to go in the 3rd quarter. So ball on the 33, Mill Valley once again looking to get a big time stop. Their defense has come up big a couple times so far in this 3rd quarter, getting a stop to help them tie this game up, bring the offense back on the field. Now they're stacking the box up the middle. Those linebackers coming in. They motion the man up. Now Anderson trying to raw out the pass. He's going to throw downfield for Finn Barnett. That one incomplete, but there is a flag on the play. So that looked like number 16, Nicholas Jurschek, in coverage for Mill Valley. Might have got caught holding on to that jersey. We might see either a holding or a pass interference call on Mill Valley. So actually it looks like that might have been roughing the passer. Personal foul on Mill Valley. So regardless, they're going to get 15 yards. And that, regardless, will be good enough for a Saints first down. So another costly penalty for Mill Valley is going to push it to the Aquinas 48-yard line. Moves a chance for a first down with 2:02 to go in the 3rd quarter. Saints trying to break the tie. So first down near midfield. 2 receivers split out wide. They send a man in motion. They're going to toss it to Finn Barnett. They went to him on the pass last time. Now he's still on his feet off the run. Finn Barnett finally dragged down from behind past the 15 inside the Mill Valley red zone. It's going to, once again, another big play. St. Thomas, they get stopped a couple times on first down, second down, and then they get big carries with either McCormick or Barnett. So after the big play, it'll be 1st and 10, 14 yards to go from breaking this tie. 1:42 to go in the 3rd quarter. Anderson hands it off up the middle to Tank Young. He hurdles the defender. And he's going to be right near that first down marker. He might have been just short. Looks like a 9-yard gain is going to bring up 2nd and 1. So Tank Young, very explosive running back. This is where you go to the workhorse. Like we said last week, Tank carries 216 yards and 5 touchdowns. He doesn't have that so far today, but he certainly made an impact in this one. Now 5 yards to go, 1:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. They split out the receiver wide. Looks like that's Mason Ross, or excuse me, Will Thompson for Aquinas. They hand it off once again, and he's in. Touchdown Aquinas. From 5 yards out, they hand it off up the middle. Tank Young caps off another long drive for Aquinas, and that makes it a 27-21 game with 53 seconds to go. So after a big carry by Finn Barnett, they went to him in the air. They got the first down off the penalty, even though it was an incomplete pass. They go back to him on that little reverse. He had a big play that got him inside Mill Valley territory. Extra point attempt is good and makes it a 7-point game, 28-21. Saints jump back out ahead with 53 seconds to go in the quarter. We'll be right back here on A10varsity.com.
Today is a new day. A day we've been waiting for our whole lives. We've put in the work to get to this moment, to have this opportunity to come together as a team. Everyone knows KC is on the rise, but what they don't know is we're just getting started.
Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
So we're back here on A10 Varsity, 21-14 Aquinas with a big touchdown drive capped off with Tank Young punching it in from 4 yards out. Mill Valley's going to get the ball back here. They've scored on their last 2 offensive possessions. No chance of returning this one. Touchback will bring Cooper Marsh and the Jaguar offense back onto the field at the 20 with 53 seconds to go in the third quarter. So Mill Valley hanging with them, trying to pick up a big home win and get back to 500 before they go on the road to play Blue Valley North next week. So once again, a couple score updates from the Kansas side brought to you by the A10 Varsity Scoreboard. Blue Valley Southwest, how about this? They were ahead 21-0 against Blue Valley Northwest. 19 unanswered points by the Huskies makes it 21-19. So now Blue Valley Southwest holding on to a slim 2-point lead in that one. 1st and 10, Marsh off the handoff, little option play, possibly give it right to Young, right near that sideline. 6-yard gain out near the 26 will bring up 2nd and 4. Stops the clock with 47 seconds to go in the quarter. So a packed crowd here from Mill Valley High School. Both stands into it. 16 seconds on the play clock. Trying to go the length of the field and get a 3rd consecutive touchdown to try to tie this game once again. They hand it off to Young. Inside run goes to the outside. Dragged down, and now we're going to have a flag come out. I believe that might have been a horse collar. And so a personal foul on Aquinas should give Mill Valley the first down. So by the way they're motioning, it definitely looks like this is a horse collar. And that will be a Mill Valley first down. So they'll take the free 15 yards all day. Moves them to their own 43-yard line. So another first down coming up for the Jaguars. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter here on A10varsity.com. So now they go back to that trip set to the left side of the field. Green in the backfield with Marsh. 30 seconds on the game clock, 13 seconds on the play clock. Have to run one more play before the quarter. A little play action. They have a man over the middle. This one complete. A big first down completion from Marsh out to Jacob Hartman. He's been all over the field, making catches and touchdowns throughout the afternoon. Another big one there moves them into Aquinas territory. 1st and 10, 42 yards out from possibly tying this game. 14 seconds to go, and it looks like they may just let this clock wind down and head into the fourth quarter. So these Jaguars, they have them right where they want them. 1 quarter to go, down 28-21. They have a chance to get back to 500 after 2 close losses to begin the season. They will begin the fourth quarter with the ball. 28-21, St. Thomas Aquinas leads. We will be back shortly with a message from our sponsors here on A10 Varsity.
Gear up for back to sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
So we're back here on A10varsity.com. A score update brought to you by the A10 Varsity Scoreboard. Before the kickoff, or actually before the beginning of the fourth quarter, Rockhurst and Blue Valley, big Missouri-Kansas matchup. That game is tied 14-14. Also, Baser-Linwood jumps down to a 27-19 lead. So to begin the fourth quarter, 1st and 10, 42 yards to go for Mill Valley. They have 3 receivers on the right. They run the opposite side, and it gets blown up. Nice job of stopping him in the backfield. That was Brooks stopping him in the backfield for St. Thomas Aquinas. Also back there. Actually couldn't see a number, so it will be 2nd and 14 after a 4-yard loss. Moves him back to the 46 with 11:32 to go in the game. Mill Valley, they struggled in this position early on in the game, a couple turnovers, but so far this third quarter, 2 straight touchdowns. Marsh will keep it off the option. No one there. He has a chance to pick up the first down. He gets right near the 30. About a 16-yard gain. It's going to give Marsh and the Jaguars offense the first down. So moves the chains once again. Right near the 30 with 11:14 to go in the game. So this Jaguars offense coming alive late in the second half. They move those trips back to the wide side of the field. 3 receivers to the right. Green in the backfield along with Marsh. Tried to get him with the hard count. Now the play clock's going to go down to 10 seconds. Green goes to the opposite side now. Marsh almost about to hand it off to him. Before that, we have a flag on the field. And it looks like this one is false start. So he'll push him back to the 35, make it 1st and 15. Still 11:13 to go in the game. Be interesting to see if maybe they try to go back to the ground with Green, or that option play with Marsh, try to pick up some of that yardage on 1st and long. They've been good in this situation. They've been able to pick up some big plays throughout the night. Now Green, the running back, he goes into the slot near this side of the field. Marsh, a direct quarterback keeper, designed the whole time. Gets it right near the original line of scrimmage, maybe a little more. Looks like about a 7-yard gain out to the 28 is going to bring up 2nd and 8. So nice job getting some of that yardage back. That run game's been really effective, picking up 4, 5, 6, 7 yards per carry every time. So 3 receivers split out wide. Big Zach Mills lined up near this side of the field. Aquinas dropping back a little bit. Marsh rolling out to left, pressure coming, gets dragged down from behind. Big sack on the play by number 37, Bobby Pierce. Once again, getting a big stop in the backfield. They had a chance to maybe gain a few more yards, make it a manageable 3rd down, but now it will be 3rd and long. So 3rd and 14 after the 6-yard loss. Clock still rolling with 9:50 to go in the game. Ball on the 35. You're about 7 yards out of field goal range for Mill Valley. Like we said, Tennant, his longest on the season is 45 yards. He's 2 for 3. But they're looking for a touchdown. Marsh dragged down by the jersey. They finally get him down back at the 42-yard line. So back-to-back sacks for this Aquinas defense. They push him way out of field goal range. And potentially they'll keep the offense on the field here. Kind of a no man's land on your opponent's side of the field. Might as well take a shot. 4th and 21 after another 7-yard loss. Ball on the 41 with 9:03 to go in the game. So Righteous. Actually, no, it looks like maybe a little pooch punt here by March. They do just that. This one's going to take a line drive bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So that will bring Blake Anderson and the Aquinas offense back onto the field. Ball on their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up with 8:49 to go in the game. So a few more score updates brought to you by the 810 Varsity Scoreboard. DeSoto pulling out ahead of Lansing 49-7. And also Lawrence currently beating Olathe Northwest 21-7. A few more scores. Bonner Springs and Tonganoxie still no score there, 0-0. And Leavenworth is beating Turner 28-0. So 1st down. Saints back on the field. They have 2 receivers split out wide. Send Downey in motion. Instead, they hand it off to Tank Young, and he stood up at the line of scrimmage. Big time stop there by that Jaguar defense led by number 6, Carson Caldwell. Another big stop there by the senior linebacker will bring up 2nd and 9. So, I mean, really, besides a big play from Finn Barnett and a touchdown from Charlie McCormick, Mill Valley's done a pretty good job not letting Aquinas get really big plays off the run, as once again they get a stop on 2nd down. Maybe a 1-yard gain will make it 3rd and 7, and this is a big time 3rd down for both teams. Aquinas trying to keep that clock rolling. 7:56 and counting, but if you're Mill Valley, you have a chance to get a 3 and out right here. And with a punt, you're going to have great field position. Try to tie this game up. Beginning to get later into this 4th quarter. It's kind of weird. It's the 4th quarter and there's still a bunch of sun out. Of course, this game moved up because of the impending weather. 3rd down, they're still under center. 2 receivers to this side of the field. They send Tank Young in motion to the right. Anderson rolls out to left. They have a man downfield. This one is dropped by number 3, Finn Barnett. Not able to haul it in, excuse me. They've been trying to go deep to him all afternoon. Still haven't been able to get a catch. So a 3 and out by Aquinas will bring Charlie Weinrich back on the field for the punt. Incompletion stops the clock with 7:22 to go in the game. So ball on the 24. Those 2 Jaguars standing back right at their own 44-yard line. They'll have a chance to get some yardage here. Maybe get inside Aquinas territory with a solid return. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Nice punt, probably his best of the game right here. This one nearly bounces into a Jaguar once again. But kind of a shorter punt goes out at the Aquinas 49-yard line. So already on the Aquinas side of the field, 49 yards to go with a 1st and 10 coming up for Mill Valley. They have a chance once again to tie the game 28-21. And actually there is a penalty on Mill Valley, so they will stay on. Now tacking back 10 yards. So that should take them out of Aquinas territory. Maybe back near their own 41. So they will begin on their own 41, 7:13 to go in the game. Big drive here coming up for Mill Valley. They were stopped for the first time this half after scoring their first 2 third quarter possession downs. They had a chance maybe get a field goal, but 2 sacks back-to-back by the Aquinas defense forced them to punt. So 1st and 10, 3 receivers this side of the field. Marsh play action, has a man over the middle. 1st down for Mill Valley. Another big pass out to number 3, Jacob Hartman. So he's had himself an afternoon. Multiple big receptions along with a touchdown catch. Now back inside Aquinas territory to the 45. We'll make it 1st down with 7:01 to go in the game. So they're staying that trip set to this side of the field. Marsh, no play action, quick hitch route near the 40, and he was hit on impact. Big hit by that defensive back for St. Thomas, Isaiah Gavin. About a 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain will make it 2nd and 5. And slant routes in this second half, that's how they scored their 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. A slant route in the end zone. 6:14 to go in the game. Marsh, once again, he's going to keep it. He releases it before he's dragged down, and he completes it for another 1st down. This time it's complete to number 19, Ty Reiches, for a 1st down. Just a nice play there by Cooper Marsh. Off balance, throwing it as he's getting dragged down. Good job by him, staying in the pocket, taking the hit. 1st down now at the Aquinas 29. They have a chance to tie the number 1 ranked team in the state with 5:55 to go in the game. Marsh, another quick hitch route. This one sails over the head of Jacob Hartman. Incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10. Still on the 29 with 5:45 to go in the game. So this Aquinas defense, if you're just tuning in, Mill Valley could have a couple more scores if not for multiple turnovers that Aquinas forced in the 1st half. They'll try to get one more right here. Keep this a 1-score game. Now some of that weather beginning to come in here. They're going to try to get this game finished up before that starts. A little bit of lightning. This time Green. Nice block. He's into the secondary. Dragged down at the 10. And Mill Valley's within striking distance. 1st and goal coming up. 7 yards to go with 5:38 to go in the game. And Green, just an amazing second half for him. And it looks like we will have an official timeout for injuries. So still 5:37 to go in the game. It'll be 1st and goal on the 7 after a quick break here. You're tuning in to 810varsity.com. We'll be back.
Today is a new day. A day we've been waiting for our whole lives. We've put in the work to get to this moment, to have this opportunity to come together as a team. Everyone knows KC is on the rise, but what they don't know is we're just getting started.
Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
Here on 810varsity.com. Once again, that is the Mill Valley running back, Tyler Green, limping off the field. Looks like he's kind of battling some cramps in this hot weather. He took him to the 7. Now they're going to try to finish off the drive here. 1st and goal with 5:33 and counting to go in the game. Marsh lined up in the backfield. This time, Quinn Wattenauer in the backfield with him. 12 seconds on the play clock. They have 4 receivers split out, 2 to each side of the field. Marsh hands it off to Wittenauer, and he gets stood up behind the line of scrimmage. Nice response by that Aquinas defensive line. Getting in there to make the play once again was Caden Reeves, the big junior defensive tackle for Aquinas. And now you have another Mill Valley player on the ground with an injury. And actually that looks like Wittenauer. So back-to-back plays, you have 2 straight running backs, but now it's looking like Green. He was trying to go back in the game, but the coaches may keep him out for another play. So another injury timeout. 4:57 to go in the game. It's really weird because on the right side of the field, looking to the right, clear skies and sunny, and then on the left you see all those dark clouds coming in. They're trying to get this game in before the impending weather starts. That's why they moved it up from 7 to 4. And so now you have Tyler Green coming back on the field for Mill Valley. So I'm assuming it's cramps he's been battling a little bit. He's gotten him here to the 7-yard line. The 3-yard loss makes it 2nd and goal from the 10. Trying to tie this game up with a touchdown. Marsh, pressure coming. He throws it over the middle. This one deflected. Going back to that slant route over the middle. But nice deflection there by number 17. That was Mill Valley's roster, number 17, Will Gavin for Aquinas. So he tried to go back to the slant route, get another score. But an incomplete pass is going to make it 3rd and goal from the 10. Clock stops with 4:34. And before that, we have a timeout called by Mill Valley. So that's their second timeout of the half. They're now down to 1 remaining with 4:34 to go in the game. Once again, we'll be right back here on 8-10 Varsity. Aquinas leads 28-21.
When it comes to SUVs, nothing beats Honda. U.S. News & World Report's best SUV brand 4 years in a row, including the 2019 Honda Pilot, one of the millions of Hondas built here in America since 1982. Or the 2019 CR-V, a crossover car and driver calls a better value than the RAV4. And right now, get Pilot with 1.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. For more offers, visit kchondadealers.com today.
And we're back from Mill Valley High School in Shawnee, Kansas. Number 6 versus number 5 in Class 5. Mill Valley has a chance to tie this game up against Aquinas in the waning moments of the 4th quarter. 4:34 to go in the game. Jaguars facing a big 3rd and goal. They've been able to pick up 3 touchdowns in the air from this side of the field. Intercepted! Picked off in the end zone. Another interception back there. Cooper Marsh was trying to fit it in there, but a huge interception will give Aquinas the ball at the 20. And it might be 1 turnover too many for Mill Valley. Once again, a long drive deep inside Aquinas territory. Ends up with a turnover, no points. Now their defense, they've been getting a couple stops throughout the night. They need 1 more right here to get their offense the ball back. 4:27 to go in the game. They're going to begin with a toss out to Tank Young. He has blockers to the outside. He gets pushed out near the 24-yard line. 2nd down coming up. Clock stopped at 4:14. Officially a 4-yard gain will make it 2nd and 6. And so, I mean, like we said earlier, coming into tonight, Aquinas was averaging a ton of yards per play. They're averaging nearly 10 yards per carry. And so far, I mean, really, you only had 2 big plays with Barnett and McCormick. Besides that, Mill Valley's done a good job of shutting them down. It's now about getting 2-3 straight stops on the ground. Trying to get another 3 and out here to get the offense the ball back. Blake Anderson with the quarterback keeper. He stood up there by linebacker number 10, Colton Jegan for Mill Valley, and now a crucial 3rd down coming up for the Saints. Now under 4 minutes to go in the game. 3rd down, 4 yards to go after the 2-yard gain. Anderson comes in, obviously slowing things down a little bit. Trying to milk that clock as long as they can. They have 1 receiver split out wide. That's Will Thompson for the Saints. Tank Young in the backfield in the 3-point stance, lined up behind Anderson. They hand the ball off to him up the middle. No, this is a toss to Anderson. He kept it. He tosses it to the outside, and this is the 1st down for Aquinas. So big gain there by Finn Barnett. He faked it to Tank Young. Anderson keeps it, rolls out to the left, and tosses it to Barnett. That gives him a 1st down with 3:21 to go in the game. So at least the silver lining for Mill Valley is he got pushed out of bounds, so that stopped the clock with, oh no, actually it's continuing to roll. So still 3:12 to go in the game and rolling. And you only have 1 timeout remaining. So this is where you need to get a stop here for your offense to get back on the field. Thompson lined up to this side of the field. They keep it on the ground to Tank Young. Stood up around the 40, dives forward for another yard or 2. Will bring up 2nd down. 5-yard gain makes it 2nd and 5. So now Mill Valley needs 2 more stops, 2:30 and counting in this game. Still have 1 timeout that they can use to stop this clock. Aquinas still in the huddle. They have 15 seconds to go on the play clock. Now down to 10. Thompson, 1 receiver. The lone receiver out on the opposite side of the field. The Tank once again lined up behind the quarterback. They give it off to him, and there he goes. Tank Young goes around multiple defenders inside Mill Valley territory, gets to the 34, and that's going to pick up another crucial Aquinas first down. So 1st and 10 for the Saints. I believe the clock should be stopped. I don't think it'll be rolling. 2:06. Mill Valley, this is where they have to make a stand. Saints once again under center. They shift the tight end over to the right side. Thompson also lined up this way. Anderson hands it up to middle. Tank Young plowing his way through the Mill Valley defense into the secondary. Picks up another nice gain of 8 yards and make it 2nd and 2. Clock still rolling now, under 2 minutes to go. 1:52 to go in the game. And just an excellent job of potentially putting this game away, continuing to pick up yards when they need it on the ground to keep this drive alive and keep the clock rolling. So now 90 seconds to go in the game. Still lined up in their base formation. Multiple tight ends. Anderson hands it off to Tank once again. He tries to cut it to the outside, still on his feet at the 24, and that's where it looks like Mill Valley might call a timeout. Or actually, no, the clock stops for the first down. They're going to give him the first down, and that may just about do it. Mill Valley needed to get a stop there. And just an excellent job by this Saints offense. Able to put this game away. And they should be able to hold on here from Mill Valley High School. So Saints in victory formation. Blake Anderson takes the kneel down. Mill Valley not electing to use that timeout. And that's how this game is going to end. 40 seconds to go in the game. St. Thomas Aquinas goes on the road and hangs on after dominating their first 3 games. Jaguars nearly pull off the upset, but once again, just a couple turnovers too many. Big 7-point victory for St. Thomas Aquinas. So Saints move to 4-0 on the season. Mill Valley falls to 1-3. Jaguars will be on the road at Blue Valley North next week. Meanwhile, for Aquinas fans, they'll be back home against Blue Valley West. So that's how this game is going to end here from Shawnee, Kansas. Fans making their way out as fast as they can with this weather coming in. Thank you for tuning in to 810varsity.com. I'm Noah Bonner. We'll see you next week here on 810.